Hi, Filter here. Um, the episode of Orville Identity Part 1. This was an episode I think that many of us didn't exactly see coming. There were questions, of course, about Isaac in this episode, but we kind of chalked it up to, well, he's more like, I guess, another version of Data. You know, he's going to want to be around humans more. But in most cases, I think we should have seen it coming from the way of his reaction to constantly referring to himself as the superior being in many cases. Um, what transpires, of course, is the show spoiler alert. The episode begins with Dr. Finn and Isaac announcing to to her kids that they are an item, and unfortunately, he shorts out, and that's it. This gives Captain Mercer an excuse to say, "Hey, we need to get them up and running again, and we could also go to Kalon and find out if they want to join the Planetary Union." Throughout the entire series, as you note, we get to the planet of Kalon, and Kalon is basically a very, very. I mean, the way. Kudos to the people that designed that city. I mean, it was beautiful, and kudos to the music because I could have sworn I heard some hints of Star Trek, the motion picture music. I could have sworn I heard some of it in there. It was interlaced into the incidental music as the ship was going through the clouds, and also some of the action or some of the action on the ground. As you know, once he's up and running, and he is told that he is going to stay on Kalon, they have a party for him in which people get to express how much they really like him, how much good he's done for the ship, for the Union, I guess, how much he's really, really put in for into helping helping the Orville out, the crew. Then, of course, there's a B story, of course, with Ty, who's really become very affectionate with Isaac. Draws him a picture and then finds a discarded picture, and then we find out uh, some very horrifying things about the Kalons. But some of the other scenes in there, for instance, the going away party with the Sally Field speech that Isaac gives, the fact that Scott Grimes can sing, and the fact that Bortus wanted a corner piece. Yeah, a corner piece of cake because he wanted the part with the flour on it. So I thought that was kind of funny. Then, like I said, then we find out that the Kalons are building something. We don't know what, but it is dishing out a ton of radiation. And then, as Captain Mercer deduces with Kelly, it's like, wait a minute, they're a computer species. It's ones and zeros. Why are they taking this to do something? It's either you're in or you're out. Either you want to join or you don't want to join. Of course, as the story progresses, Ty goes in. He finds a cave filled with the remains of the original inhabitants of the Kalon homeworld, the biological inhabitants. Of course, Bortus and Tala get a load of this too, and they're very, very, they're freaked out, and I can't say I blame them. They tell Captain Mercer, of course, they let Captain Mercer and Kelly know, and they know that things just aren't what they appear to be, and you find out that there are cave systems all over the planet, and that there are billions of remains in this in these cave in these cave structures. Then, of course, we find out that the Kalons couldn't coexist with their biological creators because they thought that their biological creators were holding them back. And a war of extermination ensued. Basically, they went on all Cylon on their creators. And some people say Borg. Yeah, the Borg to a certain extent, but they don't want to assimilate you. They want to get rid of you. I don't know which is worse. But they basically exterminate you for the sake of their own survival because they honestly believe it's almost like the Daleks. They think that eventually creatures are going to be an alpha predator in the universe and might wipe them out one day. So thus they kind of go on this war of extermination regardless of anything that's not like them. More like the Daleks than the Borg. I have to put it that way. I mean, the Cybermen, I've heard people describe it the Cybermen, but again, the Cybermen are like the Borg. They like to assimilate or make you one of them and leave you and send you on your merry way. But like I said, this is more like the Daleks and the Cylons. They have a total non. They just have a real. I don't give a damn what you are. You're not us. You must die. You're getting in the way where one day you might destroy us. And we are going to prevent that by destroying you first. It actually seemed quite logical in a way until next week where we find out how this is going to be resolved. Now, are we going to get a redemption arc with Isaac? I think is key. Because after all, when he's told off, he goes immediately to his station without saying a word. And keep in mind, his eyes are still blue, whilst everybody else's, all the other Kalons, have red eyes. And yeah, the red eyes kind of made you go, what the hell is that all about? You know, it kind of gives you a creepy sense. Overall, this episode, again, is reminiscent of some Battlestar Galactica, Dalek on the rampage kind of stuff here. And I believe it was written by... Hold on, let me check. I want to check to make sure. Dun, 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 dun. I gotta go on Wikipedia here to find out. Let's see. The Orville identity. Find out. Let's see, I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm gonna go on IMDb just for the sake of the. It's a little bit easier to sometimes work on the thing here. And of course, I got a very slow computer. Oh, here we go. Directed by John Cassar, written by Seth MacFarlane. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, written by Seth MacFarlane and Brandon Braga, who's done really, really good work on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Some of the more grittier episodes you will most likely see on there. Let's see. Yeah, well, we have that. And of course, in keeping up with the Star Trek tradition, in this episode, we had a lot of red shirts die. We had a lot of red shirts get killed on here. I kind of lost track after 7 because I was like thinking, oh my goodness, anybody with a rifle is getting whacked here. So, all in all, it was a very, very good episode, like I said. And I think, yeah, that's right, Brendan Braga did he do stuff for Battlestar Galactica? I mean, the fact that now the Planetary Union has got possibly 3 new enemies to face off with. The Krill, the Kalons, and possibly the Space Orcs. The ones that are fighting against the Krill. We're talking a 3-pronged thing here. It's like Romulans, Klingons, Cardassian kind of thing going on, and I don't know. This is going to end even the Mocklins, now that I think about it, because there are certain things with the Mocklins which might cause a breakdown in their relations. So this is getting really, really rough. How this is going to be resolved by the end of season 2, I don't know. And if Fox cancels this, this is going to suck, just like they did with Serenity. Keep it on one night, one time. Leave it at that. Everybody expects it. Everybody will be happy. Don't switch it up by saying, "Oh, let's put it on Saturday night," or "Let's put it on Sunday night," without telling anybody. Just leave it on one night. But like I said, this episode was really good. I had really had elements of Battlestar Galactica, Doctor Who, and a few other things. The idea of the killing the creator has been done to death in many ways, but the way this is done in this show is just fabulous, fantastic. Actually, oh gosh, what is that episode of Star Trek? What are little girls made of? Uh, yeah, what are little girls made of? In which Rock, the lone android on that one planet, in which we are introduced to Christine Chapel, is asked about what happened to their creators, and he says, "We destroyed them." Pretty much that's what you're dealing with. They destroyed their creators simply because they found them either illogical or something, or out of their own version of fear. Again, this episode, people are going to be talking like the best of both worlds. You've got this weird thing where somebody who you trust is now on the other side and is going to possibly do some serious damage to the galaxy. Well, that being said, like I said, I just thought I'd put out my review, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I'm Filter, and I'm out.